Welcome back to my testimony. My name is Anthony Ndiema. We are at the parking by Radisson. One of the facilities you need to check out are the conference facilities. Great, prices are very affordable, and you will love the ambience. Very creative kind of ambience right here. So come, if you need to have a brainstorm session in your organization, this is a place to visit and check out. You will definitely love it. We are on my testimony. We are speaking to Flora, telling us her story. When she was about 21, she got raped by a friend to the father, but she did not speak about it for almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years, yeah.
And it kept eating
Probably even longer.
And probably longer.
Yeah.
But as people came to see you as Pastor Flora, now those memories start coming.
Yes.
And they start eating you up.
Yeah.
Where did they push you to?
Actually, every time these girls and these ladies left the church and the office, I would see them off to the door, shut it. It was an iron sheet office, so I couldn't scream loudly. So I screamed silently.
Kutoka ndani.
Kutoka ndani na haitoki because utaki wenzako washangae what is happening in Flora's office. And that's where I started asking myself questions. So who cares?
Wow.
Who cares that we have young girls seated on the pews of the church who are sexually abused, defiled, but nobody is talking about it? My world was limited to the church. And I was recalling I've just graduated from a theological school. And usually I say I wouldn't have missed it if any of my lecturers had brought it out, like a need to reach. Right. So who cares that we have these girls seated in the pews who are being sexually abused, and nobody in regards to church cares about it? Nobody in my training as a pastor prepared me for such brokenness. Who cares that we have women who are battered every day? And the church is not talking about it, because again, when I say nobody, my world was limited to the church.
To the church, right.
And I came up with one idea, that Christ is the healer. And if Christ is the healer, then the church should be a healing agent to the society.
That's true.
But are we doing it? So this created what I call a holy discontent inside of me. I was not comfortable. And for God, of course, sometimes when you're thinking through something and you look like you're the only one who is talking about it, you may end up at a point where you're thinking you're mad, you're crazy.
Yes. Why me? It's only me.
Everyone is not thinking about it.
That's true.
So after about 2 years in my job, I went for my graduate studies. And one of my assignments to myself was I needed to heal first, so that I can avoid being reactive. And this had come even before I went for my graduate studies. I met one of the psychiatrists in the country. And is it a psychiatric or a counselor, psychological counselor, something like that? Yeah. And usually I say, I don't think she helped me for my personal brokenness, but she opened my eyes to the realities on the world. Because she gave me stories. I remember her saying, you are better, you are big. And she gave me stories of a young child who was being abused by the father, and she didn't know what was happening. So when the mom discovered a difference in her walking style, she asked her, and the baby said, when daddy comes home, he takes a stick and pokes me with it.
Wow.
She was that innocent.
Right.
And she gave me many other examples. So I remember walking from her office to town, not because I didn't have transport, but I think it didn't occur to me that I needed to jump into a matatu or something, because I was just thinking through this. The question kept on ringing in my mind. So who cares? Who cares? And of course, this brought back traumatizing moments in my life, very bitter moments. I wished I had a gun to just go shoot that guy. Yes, and get him off my life and my way, and just the imagination that he's living somewhere, probably abusing another girl who may never be able to talk for themselves. But of course, I also needed to move from being a victim to a survivor. So I go to do my graduate studies. I'm intentional about wanting to know what my colleagues would think about it and all that. I remember after sharing with one of my friends, rather my colleagues in school, 2 or 3 days later, we were having a cup of tea. And I think either she forgot or at the heat of the moment, she said, I can't be raped by one man. And I had shared my story with her just a few days before. I looked at her and I slapped her so hard. I didn't know I could slap. But I slapped her so hard because I was like, you're judging me. And you've been a youth pastor. The tea party ended there. Everyone got to their room. But I wasn't ready to, go back. So fast forward, I'm thinking about this. I'm asking God, can you confirm what you're telling me? What you're telling me.
Who cares?
Yeah. And I go for a youth camp, and I told God, this is the place you're confirming that this is actually a calling you're putting in my heart, and not just another thing that I'm going to run with. And we're in this youth camp on a Thursday afternoon, and we were talking about the sexual perversions. And our subtopic that afternoon was on masturbation. And a friend who'd come to visit, and I knew had overcome that, I asked him, would you be willing to share your experience, and I'll join it with what I'm teaching. He said, sure, I don't mind. So I said, okay, I'm going to introduce my subject, and then you'll take over. He said, okay. He took 45 minutes. So after he was done, I said, let's go for lunch. Let's be here by 2 so I can take the shortest time possible and hand over to my colleague. We never finished until 11 p.m.
All the way? All the way.
And by 2 p.m., everyone of the youths in that youth camp was seated. And nobody rushed out unless when it was a must to go out. And kids shared their experiences. I remember one very young girl, she was in class 6, saying she did her first French kissing when she was in grade 2. I was like, wow, what is even French kissing,
How do you know that?
And she said that was the beginning of it, and it was happening every time. When their cousins came home, this idea of parents telling kids, and then mkaka uko bedroom, mama mkacheze uko. You need to follow up and know wanacheza mchezo gani when they go there. So anyway, we finished the youth camp, and I'm like, I'm done for this youth camp. I now know my purpose. Fast forward, graduating in 2009, I'm doing my devotions in the morning, and I'm asking God, what do you want me to do? What is the name of this ministry? And God says, New Scent. I'm like, what is this? He says, and this was audible. He says, I want you to go give my people a fresh breath of life. Of course, it takes time to understand and all that. So again, fast forward, 2014, I did a support group in my own house. We would meet every fortnight. This was for bigger girls. But then in 2015, I am praying and asking God, what do you want me to do with this calling that you've put in my heart? It was my birthday, so I decided to celebrate my birthday through prayer and fasting. And so the Lord said, I'm asking him, what do I do? And he says, enough of talking, it's time to act. I said, but I've been praying for money and you've not given me money. He said, use what you have. And what I had was my rent. If you've walked with God, you know when it is a command, when it's a suggestion. This was a command. So I used my rent, collect 11 girls from the streets, take them to a school using my 2-month rent. Some of them never gone to school. Some of them being trained to become witch doctors. Some of them already initiated into witchcraft practices and stuff like that. And this was on 8th of June, 2015. After some time, we realized they were going back to the streets where they would sleep, be covered in the sand. That's where they're going to be abused for the mandazi they were bought or something like that. And then they would cover themselves with the sand up to the neck. So I get them to school and up to date. So we'll begin with 11 girls. And today we are at 40 girls. And the Lord has been gracious. He's been gracious.
So you are staying with all these 40 girls?
Yes. We've been staying with them in a shop. You know the Ushago shops?
Yes.
We stay in a Ushago shop. That's where all the 40 bundle up and stay together with me. I thought to myself, if I go get a house, it's at a different place. Of course, when I started using my rent, I was auctioned because I've not paid rent. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, I was sent away from the house by the management. They said they don't even want my money. So I'm also at like zero level financially, and I have to support this with my own, you know, work. I would get my clothes that were big, so this should fit about 2. So the bottom part is made into a skirt or a small dress, and the upper part is a dress. And I said I'm going to stay with them, whether they understand or not. I wanted to identify with them, and that's what we've been doing. And the Lord has blessed us with a house. We'll be moving in this coming week.
Oh, great!
Yes,
Amazing.
So we praise the Lord.
New scent.
New scent.
And that keeps you going.
Yes.
Every day. So that's where you are full time.
Yep.
At the moment.
At the moment.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. So from your experience,
Yeah.
look at what is happening.
Yeah.
Now
the
you're
Lord
taking
is just
care of
doing
children. I mean, girls.
And some of them
supporting
have gone through very gross experiences. The youngest I have is 6. She was abused when she was barely 3 years old by the father.
Oh my.
And then when the parents separated, the mom started trafficking her. And she's not the only one who is trafficked by the mom. We have several others who are being trafficked by their moms. So looking at these children smile and laugh, I was just thinking about one of the girls we have right now who was being abused by the stepfather. And he went so low that when he's taking her to school, they just go by the bush and ask her to bend. You know, she's only 7. She's just turned 8 this year. And she never smiled for the longest time. I remember the time I saw her smile, my heart warmed up.
Wow. I mean, that was hope.
Yes, I was like,
Arising
yeah,
again.
we are making it.
Yeah.
We are making it. So
Wow,
that's what
great.
we're doing.
As we wind up, Flora, I mean, parents, they bear quite a huge, cost to this. And the girls, just speak to them in a few seconds, and as we wind up.
Parents, I wish you would be careful to know and listen to your child. Whether it's the boy or the girl, they both have a lot to lose, but imagine the girl child. Still broken. Many people are claiming that the girl child is over-empowered, and that's a lie. There's still a lot to be done in the grassroots. So take care of your children even during this holiday. Talk to them, know what's happening. Even when it's very annoying, try and give them an ear. You never know how much that would help them in their future.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
New
to
scent.
New scent.
N-E-W scent is harufu.
Yes,
New scent.
S-C-E-N-T.
Do you have a website?
We do.
All right.
We do. So you just Google the www.newscent Center International is INTL.org.
All right.
Yes, that's our website.
www.newscentcenter
INTL.org. We're on Facebook as well. Same name, New Center International.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. We wish you well.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to a bigger center.
Yes.
More girls who will come out to help more other girls.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
what we're looking out for. That's what
One
we're looking
girl
out
at
for.
a time.
One girl at a time.
All right.
And the society is healed, which
That's
is our
true.
vision.
That's true.
Yes.
All right. Speaking to Flora of New Cent, Center International Organization. And great story right there. And we pray that we will take care of our girls. I have 2 girls myself. We will take care of our girls, and that God will bless our girls. We are the Parking by Radisson in Westlands. Check it out. God bless you. Till next Sunday, we'll have another amazing story. Barakatele.